Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the trip. As you can see, I got my man, Mr. Tom, with me. How you doing, Mr. Tom?
Hello.
Yes, and we are happy. Uh, Leeds won,
We did.
Arsenal won,
You did.
Gators won,
They did.
and Cowboys won.
You did.
I had a 3 for weekend. Not they don't happen too often. I'll take it. And but we'll be right back after this long little break. But we'll be back. I think I saw Anders in the house. Welcome to the show if you're there. But otherwise, we'll see you guys on the other side.
This is DWTT coming to you from the Emirates.
Hello, 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 everyone. Yes, long intro because we had a good weekend. Everybody wins. Everybody gets their 3 points, and here we are. Whew. So we had,
You get
as I
three
said,
points. You get 3 points.
Anders
Not
joined us.
you, Everton. Not you, Everton. Not you, Millwall. Not you, Manchester United. Sorry.
Yes, a lot of people did not get 3 points. Anders was the first one in the house. Welcome. I don't know if he's still around, but we do have none other than Big Gunner is in the house. Welcome to the show, Big Gunner. And so we will continue on. But yes, everybody gets 3 points. Goodison Park hasn't been good to Arsenal, but it was good. It was good this weekend. I mean, it was the 1-0 score doesn't really, or the 0-0, the 0-1 score doesn't show that Arsenal dominated. But if you watch the game, they didn't really want to take all the points, and we had one opportunity to get it, and it got turned away by VAR, and that's a controversy in itself. I think initially when I looked at it, I thought one way, but then you hear people talk about it, and you think, maybe, and we'll get into why. But Mr. Tom, your team went in there. Were they starving for 3 points?
Oh, we were starving. Like dogs. Like hungry dogs. And we got them. We're like dog with a bone. Wanted the points, damn it. And Millwall. Oh, the last time Leeds won at Millwall, Harry Kane played for Millwall on loan.
Oh my! Oh
Yes.
my!
Yes.
Oh my! It's like you don't even like Kane. Like yeah, he always played for that team, right? You're saying
11 years ago it
you're
was.
saying no, he played elsewhere too. So yeah. As Big Gunner says, ravishing dogs. They just wanted those 3 points. Starving.
Got them
Uh,
too.
Good
Hello,
afternoon,
Stan.
Stan the man. He's as you can tell, it's the afternoon where he is. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. So he's in probably enjoying the sun if there's sun there. It's been raining over here.
We got rain last night. but I was glad for it because we haven't had much rain at all for the last few weeks. So,
Starving. I assume this Bobby Sands is not a good name to put out there, I guess.
I got a feeling he's a cannibal.
Ah. All right.
I got a feeling he is. I don't actually know, but Stan is a cannibal. It's definitely a cannibal. or it's worse. I don't know. I don't know. You know
that's
what?
right.
I'm
You know what?
Yeah. Go to Google.
You know, I just was just gonna say. I think this is also a double night because it's double Monday Night Football. At the beginning of the season, they decide to have two Monday Night Football games.
Actually a member of the IRA that was on hunger strike.
So there you go. He already, he just a couple of seconds behind you. Stan got, So there you go. But
I didn't know who that was though. To be honest.
Yeah. So Arsenal gets the 3 points. What?
Probably better for Bobby that he was a cannibal. Probably. I don't know. Sorry. Just excited that we won.
Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah.
It's not something used to.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I know it's a different. Happy that we won, but playing at Goodison Park hasn't been good for Arsenal for 6 years. So kind of put that one to bed, and hopefully that will be the last of that. And Arsenal will continue to win wherever they go. So that is the trick, and it's a busy week. And I don't know if you heard. Oh yeah, so the lineup, we talked about the lineup. I've talked about the lineup multiple times. The surprises, Raya and Fabio Vieira were the surprises in the lineup from the previous match. But the Raya thing is interesting because I don't know if you heard Tedder saying basically the reason why he's happy to have Raya. Well, I don't know which one.
Yeah. I think it's Raya.
It's Raya. The reason why he was happy to have him is he's thought about this, which is a weird thought from a manager of a football team, that there have been times when he wanted to make a substitution and he didn't have the player. And he's talking about goalkeepers.
That tells me if I'm Randerson, I'm sat there like I've got no future here. If I'm Ramsdale, I'm thinking they don't think I'm doing very well because he's essentially said that you're stuck with him.
I don't know if
that's the implication, right?
No, I just think it's I think he's trying to use a goalkeeper like you would say, you know what, we've got Harry. I'm not going to say his name. I was going to say Harry Kane on the bench for whatever reason, and you need a goal, so you need to make a substitution. It's like, well, where do you go with your substitution? You bring Harry Kane on, kind of, because that would make the most logical sense if you're looking for a goal. So if you have a goalkeeper and you're looking to put maybe another one in, would you do that? Probably because you want to close out a game. Usually do that with defensive players, I think. I don't know if you would say, all right, I need to score a goal, so I'm going to put in a goalkeeper. I don't think that's the thought process there. So, that's a strange one for me that Arteta's thinking that. And, people are saying, Klopp did his thing and Pep did their thing and all these other managers did their thing for the first time. This is Arteta's mad genius approach to football. What do you think about subbing a goalkeeper for any reason besides a injury?
It's incredibly rare, I'll tell you that. Like, for example, I remember that one time it happened at Leeds, for example. I may have told this story on We All Love Leeds show, but basically, the goalkeeper, Paul Ratchubka, or I think that's the pronunciation, his performance in the first half in a 2011 championship match against Blackpool was so bad that he got hauled off at half time not injured.
Mm.
He got actually substituted for a 18-year-old that had never played league football. We gave a debut to a goal. Cut long story short, he played so bad that he made a mistake that gave away a penalty and got one of his own players sent off.
Ouch.
He dropped a ball, which then led to a handball from one of our defenders who got sent off for it. And cut a long story short, conceded 3 goals at half time, and we ended up losing 5-0, I believe. Yeah. So that's the one that sticks to my mind. But yeah, like I know your point is very rare. Very rare. Like to the point that I remember the one time I've seen it happen.
Yeah, and that makes that that's like in hockey when you pull the goalkeeper, the goalie, because they're having a bad day, and they've already let in 3 goals in the first period, and you're like, it's just not your day, and I don't want to find out if it's something else, so I'm just gonna pull you. Same thing, what you were talking about, but strategically for a positive reason, I don't see a reason for you to switch goalkeepers, right? So yeah, I think as Stan has a question here, yeah, go ahead.
If the player is not injured, the manager's making a statement.
Yep.
Because it's not, you're never going to do it for protecting fitness reasons, or saving for net or things. Like your goalkeeper's a goalkeeper. It's not like you need them to be able to run, for 90 minutes flat. They're very much static until they're called upon.
True.
So yeah, it's very like you're making a point without speaking, kind of thing.
Definitely.
Sorry, please.
And I say that all the time. Arteta doesn't really. He doesn't have to say anything. Just watch him. I'll tell you exactly what he's thinking. But we got a couple of hellos we're gonna say, and then also a question from
please
Stan.
Do, yeah.
So, Ian is in the house. Welcome to the show. Bargaff has joined us. Welcome. And Ray's joined us as well. Got a lot of questions about Arsenal's next match because it's a big one for us. But let's go into Stan's question here. If Raya, he corrected himself a little bit later. If Raya, that's the one thing that I wish that YouTube will allow you to do is correct your message, because you type something and you hit enter and you're like, well, that makes no sense because you mistyped a letter or something like that, and it's just made it. And then you're like, and then do you delete it? Because when you delete it, I still see it, right? So you can't delete it where it's gone for everybody, and then you can't correct it, so you're just kind of screwed. So, but he says if Raya had been available when we bought Ramsdale, I wonder who Mikel would have chosen. I believe we were trying to get Raya, but Brentford wasn't selling. And so we went with, we always talk about Plan B. I believe Ramsdale was Plan B.
I still think you'd have gone with Ramsdale, personally.
No, they would have gone with Raya because, one, that's what Arteta wanted. The goalkeeping coach is a former...
What, is that actually known? Is that a known fact?
Yeah, Raya, the goalkeeping coach at Arsenal is really... He actually is the one that brought Raya, got him, and we got somebody in the backstage who's waving his hands like he wants to come in. Should we let him in?
Depends on the smell.
Depends on the smell. I can't smell him because he's all the way off in, I want to say Texas. But anyways, welcome to the show.
Hello.
We've got Lonzo in the house. How you doing, Lonzo?
Good. How you guys doing today?
We're doing good. I'm doing good.
Hello.
I think Mr. Tom's doing good. Did you watch Monday night, whatever it is that's going on, or is that not happened yet?
That's starting in 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you're not watching that tonight then?
Nah.
Okay.
No,
cool.
I'll watch it in the morning.
All right, I might watch later on.
Okay, cool. Was it Monday Night Raw? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we were just sitting here talking about Raya and how Arsenal was looking at. I believe they were looking at Raya when they got Ramsdale, and we were talking about goalkeepers being substituted, and that's what Arteta said. Came to mind when he was looking at having a deep bench and players to bring in and all that kind of stuff.
feels a bit like I've been stitched up here because it's like, oh, what colour am I holding in my hand? I'm like, all right, maybe it's yellow. It's like, well, it's black, and everyone knew it was black. The Arsenal goalkeeper said it was black. The Arsenal goalkeeping coach said it was black. It's like, I still think it was Ramsdale, even if it's factually not. He's young English and he's been relegated a lot. Whatever.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You got anything to say on Raya? We haven't actually really talked about the game. Been talking about the game. I've talked about the game for many hours already. So I don't think anybody's going to hear anything new from me.
I mean, I like him a lot. I think that he's a proper competition for Ramsdale. I mean, he's the number one, I think, also. So, yeah, I guess Arteta has a plan. But, I think fans of other clubs or the media would push narrative saying that, well, Ramsdale's been pushed out and all that because they don't want to see Arsenal succeed, in my opinion. The pundits and the media, news outlets, wherever. But I think it's a good move. I think it pushes Ramsdale to become even better. I think isn't Raya the number one for Spain at the moment?
I don't know if he's the number one, but he's definitely on the squad. I don't think he even played this weekend.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he's rested. That's why I believe it was easy to bring him in.
In my opinion, he's better than Matt Turner. Though I wanted Matt Turner to succeed, but he was never going to take Ramsdale's spot. I think it pushes Ramsdale. I think everyone has said that. But I think Raya is a top goalkeeper. I think like you said he pushes for the number one spot in Spain, so that's no easy task. And also Ramsdale is also pushing for the number one spot in England. So I think it'll be a friendly competition. I think you'll see Ramsdale playing more Europe and Cup games, it looks like, and I think Raya's going to play more league games. But I don't know how it's going to work out, but I think Arteta has a plan. He always does, it seems like. So, I like Raya. I think that he communicates like Ramsdale does, and, I'm very impressed by him, actually.
No, definitely. And I saw a comment there as far as if they were to drop Ramsdale, what would be the backlash? And for me, what's the difference between when Ramsdale came into the league, into Arsenal, if Raya comes into Arsenal and takes over the number one position? There's no difference. Similar thing happened. Ramsdale came in as soon as he was healthy and ready to go. Leno was basically on the bench. So, go ahead, Mr. Tom. What you got to say?
Just don't know if we said hello to Ben.
I was going to say that, and then I, you know what? I was going to say that. Thank you, because I had it here. Ben I don't know if he woke up for a little bit to say hello to us, but welcome to the show.
He's at work.
He's at work. Hopefully you're still around and you catch this message. We want to say hi. So everybody say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Cool.
Hello.
Cool.
Hello.
And everybody in the chat, I know, says hi to you because I see you've communicated with them. I was checking to see if Ray is homegrown.
I think he is.
Is Raya homegrown? Let's see what Google says to say.
He's from Spain, isn't he?
I think it also depends on what age you've been playing in the league and all that kind of stuff. So
fair enough.
So I think that's how that works.
I think he's been in England about 4 years, maybe 5.
Yeah, I think Raya is a homegrown player, according to whatever the rules are for.
I know on Football Manager, so take this with a pinch of salt.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ben's right there. But
yeah,
he was grown in his mother. Let's just say. Anyway, if before Brexit took shape, if you were a foreign national player, your contract still, I don't know the right wording, but basically like you were grandfathered in. So like you are not a foreign national player unless you sign a new contract. Sort of thing. So, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Stan says here, would he leave Brentford to take on an Arsenal challenge if he wasn't, I assume, guaranteed some kind of a big chance. The chance that we all wanted for Balogun. I think this is what Ray has gotten that chance. That's why he's here, right? So, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would.
He
To
may
be
be Spain's
fair,
#1 for this generation coming up. Okay, all right.
I'm not necessarily going to say Stan's wrong here because that's certainly a logical point. But I think, given your position and Brentford's position, Arsenal are in the position to tell him, "Well, we provide opportunity. You have the opportunity to become the number one." You're not going to tell someone that plays for Brentford you are going to become the number one because you're meant to be what they aspire to play for, as opposed to you aspiring for them to come to you.
True.
If you get what I mean.
Yep. No, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with you on that one. Yeah. I mean, the assurance isn't that you're going to take the spot. The assurance is that you're going to get the opportunity. Some players aren't going to get the opportunity, and they know it, so then they want to go. Here's the thing: Ramsdale's still going to get a job. His career's not over, and if you look at Arsenal's last 3 goalkeepers, they're all playing in the league. So obviously, they've been upgraded. They've upgraded from Emmy, from Leno, from Turner in terms of goalkeepers that have left the club. All of them, I guess, I don't know if Turner's still a starter, but they've all started for the league since,
That's exactly what I was thinking. Sorry, go to up. That was exactly what I was actually likening it to. It stands right there.
Yeah.
It was something like, we'll provide you with the opportunity to make money.
All right, Ben, go back, enjoy work. Hopefully you have some fun there. I don't know what you do at work, but yeah. Yeah, no, I hear this. Yeah.
He's a builder.
Yeah. He's building. It's nighttime.
That's sometimes the best time to do it.
Oh, I thought it was like no.
In the summer, it's almost certainly the best time to do it.
Yeah, I thought the noise and stuff, as people have problems with that sometimes. That's why. Yeah, no, this is it. You just want to give somebody opportunity. So, yep. So there was a lot of questions here, and I kind of want to go through this because So it started out with this comment, and we know we're skipping on away from Rhea. I think we're done talking about that, right? But going forward, this is a big week for Arsenal. And as Big Gunna says here, it's a massive week for the club and squad. Mentally, we have to be on one too. But it's a big week, and I think Arteta has to take it game by game. And I think some people are thinking about the weekend's match, and I'm like, wait a second. We can't be thinking about the weekend's match. This is Arsenal's first time in the Champions League in 7 years? Something like that, 8 years, whatever it is. Many years. They can't be taking this lightly. And not only that, but PSV is actually coming in as a really hot team. I was listening to somebody give the stats. They've won all 4 of their matches in the league. They've only given up 1 goal and they've scored 13. So they sitting top of the Eredivisie, and I don't think they're going to take this game lightly, and I don't think Arsenal should either. So Arteta can't be doing. I hope he doesn't do anything crazy. This isn't an opportunity to give, somebody who's on the cusp of being a rotational starter a game. This is you go strong, which means you go strong on the weekend as well. So, what do you guys think about this week? It's a big one.
So I saw PSV versus the Rangers before they qualified for group stages, and they're pretty strong. They have got a good movement. They're offensively going forward. They're pretty good. And the Dutch teams always creep up on us. It seems like throughout the years in European competitions. So there's no slouches by no means. But yeah, it's going to be a very tough week. Gary, where's this game at as far as
but we have 2 back-to-back home games.
All right, so they both work in our favor, but I think we should be more worried about PSV than we should about Spurs. To be
Yeah,
honest with you,
we shouldn't be thinking about that team. One, because it's not till the weekend, and two, it's interfering with any preparation for Wednesday.
right.
So,
But but I think this is where our depth should come in to play. I think Arteta should use some of his bench during this game against PSV just to see how we look.
I think that right there, if that's what they do, I believe that is. We're talking. No, you cannot take Champions League lightly. You cannot not give it the importance that it requires. Arsenal hasn't played in the Champions League in years, and now you're not resting anyone. You're playing. You're going strong in this one. You're playing at home, so you want to make sure that you get the 3 points. When you travel,
who's suggesting resting players in the Champions League
yeah,
in the opening group
that's,
stage?
that's what the man down there said.
What? What?
That's
But I can understand it in the dead rubber when you've already qualified for the second round, and you're going to Olympiacos and the game doesn't matter or whatever.
Yeah.
And you got Luke Ayling on the bench. Yeah, that's the thing that happened.
This is not the EFL. This is not the worst, the lowest domestic cup. We didn't work this hard to get Champions League to then take it lightly.
But we have Gabriel Jesus on the bench right now, and then had Hazard on the bench. That's what I mean. Like
starters. No. But you're saying when you say go to your bench, that doesn't mean bring your starters back in. That means bringing your bench players in. No, we need to go strong, is what I'm saying. And going to your bench, like if you're saying go to your bench because we didn't play Jesus and Ramsdale and Havertz, I hear you, but that's not what it sounds like to me. It sounds like we are not going to go strong, and if we're going to go strong, we go with our best 11 at the time, right?
You got to lay a marker down.
Yeah, right. Don't you want to go with your best 11?
Yeah, dude.
I'll tell you this. Sorry, go on, Lord. Sorry.
I always look forward to the Johnson and Derby. There are times that I can't sleep the night before, but I too want our best 11 on the pitch too. So it's in my opinion, it's kind of one of those games where like you want your team, you want your best 11 out there no matter what the case is. Like so, I agree with you, Gary. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that I want to win against PSV. But as a fan, I also want our best 11 against Spurs too, because it is the derby game, right? So, it's kind of the good thing about it is like in the past we haven't had a good enough bench. Now we do. So I'm just curious to know how we could do it.
They play both games. That's what they do. That's what the big clubs do.
Right.
You play best 11 in both matches.
You have 4 days to rest, and this is what you have. This is why, as you said, we have a deep bench. They don't have to play the next 3 games in a row, because the next 3 games in a row would mean they would play against, I think it's Bournemouth, right? They're not. The starters don't have to play in that game. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, Brentford. We play Brentford in the away cup, right? Most of our starters shouldn't have to play in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Brentford might be up for it, but I think, as you said, we're deep. So even if we put in our bench, I think we still should be strong enough to get something out of that game. It's an away game, but I think we're stronger than Brentford is, even if we go to our bench. That's what we need to be. So yeah.
Ray's got this right. Okay, the best thing you can hope for is you are so far in front or so comfortably ahead in the contest that with 20 minutes left, you can actually go, Declan, do you fancy going and having a sit down 20 minutes before you will be having to sit down? Like, sort of thing like that. That's the most ideal scenario. But you got to play a team that has the best possible chance of putting you in that situation.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, as some fans are expecting Arsenal to go out there and just beat PSV, and they're not pushovers. I mean, was it Luke? I think somebody named some of the players here. You know, you got Noah Lang, who I've heard that name multiple times. He's already got 5 goals and assists at this point in the season. Luke De
PSV
Jong,
bought Noah Lang. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So he's got 3 goals and assists. They've got Luke De Jong, who's got 7 goals and assists at this point. Patrick Van Aanholt, you know, is coming. I think he starts for them as well. So they've got some experience, even U.S. experience. Ricardo Pepe, you know, he's a forward. He's come on already and scored for them. So they've got some youth, but they also have some experience. I think that, you know, their oldest player on the team is their leading scorer. So, you know, I know there's I think I've missed a lot of messages because I've gone back, but yeah. Luke De
What I
Jong,
will say about this, though, that I think can't be understated is the importance of this game is that we've sat here for nearly 2 years and discussed on Monday night after Monday night after Monday night that you want to get in a situation to be in this situation where you're playing this match.
Yeah.
And you're there. But you were just 2 years ago, it was like because you didn't qualify for it. And it was a big disappointment to you. And you know, understandable. But the point is you wanted to get to this dance, and this is the dance. So, and then to hear rest the players, play them harder.
Yeah, no, it's
Fuck Tottenham.
No, and one thing that Arsenal has to do, and one thing that I always thought Arteta being a Pep clone is that he takes every game serious. Pep does not go into a game expecting to lose it, or like I'm not going to take this thing seriously. You know, he wants to win everything: Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, EFL, Carabao Cup. He wants to win all of it, and that's the only way. I think that's the only way to coach. If you take a game off, guess what happens? It gets built into the team's makeup DNA, and then they're never on. You know what I mean? So for me, you play all the time, play to win every time. You bring your best 11, especially now. I mean, we have basically, as I said, we have Brentford and Bournemouth in the next 2 games before we go back into the Champions League again after, you know, this weekend. Those are the games when you bring in your bench. And then, you know, then you go from there. So
I've got an amazing pointless stat for you.
Oh no!
So
See,
pointless.
This is what,
it's so pointless, but it's brilliant.
Hold on to it for a little bit. Then hold on to. I know you can hold on to it because I'm trying to catch it. I'm trying to catch up on all these messages. Got to win the home one. Yes, Ramos seems to turn Sevilla around in his first match back. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's down the road.
We don't praise Sevilla on this show. I'm afraid we don't praise them.
Yeah.
They're the former Leeds director of football. We don't praise them.
Like that. The best
I'm glad they've got him and we haven't. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, and see, this is Lonzo, what you got people doing here? Now they're talking about recalling Lakanga and Tavares for the game. No. they're right where they need to be. We're trying to get better here. I'm not trying to, this. As some people say, it's not you're not making giving people gifts of games in an Arsenal shirt. No, you got to work for this.
It was funny how Gary will always say, Arteta doesn't rest Saka.
Yeah, yeah, he doesn't rest him. He should have rested him in one of the last 5 games. He didn't rest him in any of them.
That's the argument Tony would make.
Yeah, and now you're talking about rest him for the first game in the Champions League.
Rotate.
I don't expect him to excel every game. That's why I want him to rotate. Ray. Oh, I'm not Arteta. Sorry, you got me mixed up. If you think me and Arteta are thinking the same thing, Saka shouldn't have needed to play 2 of those the last 4 games. He didn't need to play them.
This is just upsetting.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. They keep bringing up. See, you gave them basically. You gave them an in, and they're like, now I know what to say to this guy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's true. You basically said, you know what?
if you keep blowing in my ears, that's gonna irritate me. And then guess what? They just keep doing it. So
Yeah.
do we have a
It's
cooling
my
off
fault.
period so we can bring? Stan, stop! What is going on with these chats? Yesterday it was Sam talking all this craziness, and now it's Stan talking. Stan, is your back hurt or something? Is that what's going on? Never
Must be the
fell for that.
medication.
Oh man, you thought it. Then you said it. I didn't say that. I said he needs to rest and rotate. I didn't say before the Champions League game.
Ray's much
That's
more
funny.
spicy when he's not hosting, isn't he?
Yeah, he does. He kind of opens up a little bit when he's sitting on the other side of that, as you say, hosting responsibilities.
I guess even now laughing at the computer, knowing that we're having a go at it, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Yeah. No, I. Sack. I mean, some people are saying, Saka got, I think, got beat up a little bit over the weekend. Oh, is that a comment? Do I need to bring this comment up?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, it's BX's comment because the thing that had in my head is just going to start a war. I'm still going to say it, but BX Gunn said, weren't the PSV fans extremely disruptive and chaotic last time at the Emirates? And the thought out in my head was, no, that's just called fans making noise. Which might be something you're unaccustomed to at the library.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I think not taking matches seriously, like international. Like a lot of these teams take these things seriously. Sevilla, right, enjoys their time in the Europa League, so they like to go travel with their team because they've seen them win it. If Arsenal had won multiple trophies, I bet you fans would be excited for the trip, the road to get to that place, right, the final. So yeah.
I like how Ray immediately went, oh, I don't really know anything else about Seville. What's something that I can that's culturally racist that I can just go, sangria's sounds Spanish. It probably is Spanish, don't know. But it's the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, Stan, I'm with you. I'm hoping they're not pushing that guy out there on a bum leg just so that he can play. I mean, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. It doesn't actually make any sense to put all that money into a player and then try to push them onto the pitch. Basically, Yeah.
No, this I'll agree with. Like the away fans of a lot of teams tend to be more rowdy and loud than the home fans because it's like you're representing your club on the travels, let's say.
Yep.
So yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought so, Stan. If it was a bothering issue, they should have fixed. They put all that money into it. They should have fixed it. One of the most famous Spanish drinks, Tom. Yeah, Tom has a gallon of that.
It might have been Mexican.
Sangria is not Mexican.
It might have been.
Yeah, there's some other comments here that we can get into, which takes us in a different direction. First one up, Beats Gunner.
And yeah, I did notice Stan's usage of local medical facility. I love when he puts his wrestling references because in WWE, Vince McMahon doesn't like the word hospital said on television. This is a genuine quirk. Does not want the word hospital said. He prefers local medical facility. Yes, this man is a billionaire and he's mental. Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Medical facility.
Big Gunner. Here we go. Should Eddie be playing for Ghana, getting games and experience during breaks if he's ever going to go up a level?
Nope. He should be playing for England where he's going to become the highest goal scorer ever.
It's really hard to do that when you can't even get one on the bench, two in a friendly.
He will though, because it's plainly obvious that once Gareth Southgate trusts you, you don't even have to play football with anyone else to get into the team. So Eddie, as long as Eddie Nketiah makes him happy down in Burton at the where the training facility. As long as it makes him happy, he'll get on the pitch, and he won't even have to play for Arsenal to do it. He'll have to play for anyone. It works for Calvin Phillips and Harry Maguire.
There you go. So here we go. So Lonzo, any chance Eddie Nketiah will dethrone Harry Kane and get a starting position on the England team?
No, but he will dethrone Callum Wilson. I think that he'd be a good backup for him. He's still pretty young. Harry Kane is most likely in his part. He's in his part of his career where he wants to achieve big things at Bayern Munich. But I could see Eddie being a regular on the bench at England. The coach likes him. The players like him as well. I think Southgate, though he could do better, has a team now where he knows the players and they start become regulars, like Tom said. So, I wouldn't mind him staying in England. I think that he has his mates there, of course. So yeah, I mean, I would like to see him play more for England, but that's up to the Southgate. Yeah, I think Callum Wilson is not that young anymore, so I could easily see Eddie being a backup to Harry Kane.
Yep, young doesn't mean anything because Harry Kane and Henderson played in a qualifying game, and they are like the oldest players in the squad.
Right,
Yeah, but they're playing. One's playing in Saudi Arabia, and one's playing for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but we're talking about Nketiah who's playing for Arsenal, and that doesn't seem to mean anything. So that means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it means nothing. So it's like
there was no point to it. That's what it's saying.
Yeah, I need to take a few minutes. You guys continue on talking. I'll be right back.
Oh, wow. Yes. Okay. Give me a second. Right. So, welcome to this impromptu edition of the Full Nelson. Gary's cringing right now. He's like, "Oh, damn it! I should not have let him do this." Right. Join us on Wednesday where we'll be discussing the return of the Rock. That's the thing that happened. That thing that happened, isn't it? It's the Rock. Yeah, anyway, yeah, he turned up. The Tom takeover is in full flight. It's not much of a takeover. Not much of a takeover. Do you notice I got my Mean Gene Okerlund figure put together? I was trying to put it together on Saturday during the road trip, but I was failing because I couldn't see the holes.
It was very comical. It was also very comical that Sam was knocking your accent, Tom.
Sam was mocking my accent. Posh Sam was mocking my accent.
And cracking jokes about your Mean Gene's holes.
It's Return of the Mac, Ian, and you know it.
So basically, what will happen is we'll go backstage, talk for an hour, and then watch the end of Raw. In my case, rather.
Yes. Got a serious question here from Beatrix Gunner, and I'm happy he said it. How much is Somerville worth in terms of quality and impact? I actually think he's the weakest player in our front four. He's got a lot of upside. But to be fair to him, if he could actually become more direct, like on Saturday against Millwall or Sunday against Millwall, there'd be times where he's beat a player, but then he got a bit cocky and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go around him again." And then he'd make the pass, and then Luke Aylin's offside because Luke Aylin's anticipated the run. But then he's gone, "Oh, I'm going to try and make you look a bit silly." It's like, yeah, that's funny and all that, but you've cost us. You've cost us going forwards. But he's good. I admire. He was the one who basically, to our knowledge, wasn't trying to get out of the club because he saw it as an opportunity to get first team football, which I quite admire. And he seems to have been the one to convince Willie Nonto to stop behaving like a prick. So yeah, Peter Scanner's doing his Dwayne impression. Very good. Very good. Sadly, Southgate in the job, only one more year. Who are they going to replace Southgate with?
They say Pep, but
Ain't gonna be Pep.
that's what
Pep
that's
ain't
what the
gonna take
rumors
this
are.
job.
That's what the rumors are, but I want someone that values a player instead of putting them on a worst case scenario. You know,
Without being disrespectful to Middlesbrough, but the fact that the current England manager is the England manager off the back of being the Middlesbrough manager tells you how far international football has fallen in terms of prestige. In terms of it, like basically, it would be if Bobby Robson, for example, in the late 80s, he done really well with Ipswich in the 70s, 80s. So then the logical progression was become the England manager. Like that was the pinnacle at the time. But in my opinion, Pep Guardiola's already at the pinnacle because he's at the team with the most money, that not including Newcastle, but in terms of their head start, and he's going to get loads of trophies. And the more he stays there, he's going to get more trophies. It will only be Eddie Howe if Newcastle sack him, but he will not leave there to become the England manager. I can tell you that now. It'd be mental. Because you'll be leaving a job where you potentially will win trophies to be in a job where you get slagged off every 3 months because people don't like your selection of the England players or whatever. It'd be mad. It'd be mad to do it. Could be par. Could be par. Do you really think it'd be Pep? It won't be, but
well, that's rumors that they've been. That's rumors I've been reading is that Pep is the next in line to be England manager, but I don't want him to be England manager. I think that something tells me he'll pay favoritism towards Foden and Stones, and I think there's a couple more England players on that team, like Phillips. And that kind of raises a point. How old is John Stones, by the way?
John Stones. I'm gonna guess he's late 30s, late 20s.
He seems to be a fixture on the starting 11 as well.
He works his way back in. He is 29, so yeah, he's 29 years old. But
who would be the ideal partner for John Stones?
What, for England?
Yeah.
You're probably going to be looking at, it's going to be Mark Gahey or Tomori, I would have thought.
I like Mark Gahey. Next time would be John Stones' partner. I think he's very smart. He's very good. I had no issue with that if he starts in major tournaments.
Interesting. Also, in the comments, Dan pointed out Batista will be back soon because no acting work, so he'll come home for easy payday. Yep. I believe that was suggested on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's logical.
You guys talking about it doesn't sound like football.
No, we was actually talking about the England man who's going to be the England manager.
Oh, yeah, that would be
following Southgate.
Yeah, they need to make that move. Make that move. I know everybody's like they're not going to make that move until after the Euros. And I'm like, why? The sooner the better. It's like, why are you waiting to? What is he going to do different? The reason why you're letting him, you want to move on from him, is because he's missing opportunities. And if you wait until after he plays Euros, what happens if he wins it? Do you really see them letting him go? And and if he doesn't win it, I think just go get him. Who's better? Bargav says Ivan Toney or Evan Ferguson.
Ivan Toney.
Yeah, like if you want somebody to win for you today, you get Ivan Toney. If you got time, Evan Ferguson comes off the bench.
Evan Ferguson's obviously useful for if you're playing Moneyball. Like, put him with your Moneyball toys and it'll work. But Ivan Toney's going to bang 20, 30 goals, wherever you put.
Yeah, I think it's, as you say, it's an easy one. It's an easy one. So yeah, Ray says he'll take Ivan Toney, but being Irish, he does like Ferguson. So yeah,
Well, so someone should.
yeah, somebody will pick him up. But if he's coming off the bench for Brighton, are you going to spend 100? You're going to spend 100 million on a player that comes off the bench for Brighton?
Chelsea are going to buy him for 115 million again because they just love giving Brighton money and then ruining the toys that they buy.
Yeah, yeah. That is a good question. How does Nketiah even keep a spot if Tony does come back?
Because he's Eddie Nketiah and he's wonderful.
But he's not Ivan Toney. If Ivan Toney's allowed to play football in an England shirt again, Eddie's going to have to sit even, right?
Nah, it would take a lot for me to betray Eddie.
I know that's what's crazy about this whole thing. No matter what anybody says to you, it's Eddie Nketiah. Yeah. Ollie Watkins should be there. He should be, but yeah. Picking Eddie was a smokescreen to try and hide McGuire and Edison. Yeah, look, we're going young, and to even it out, we're going very old. Yeah. The Tom takeover in full flow. I hope it didn't go down the road, down the hill. Oh, here. Did you read this question?
I was ultra professional. Yeah, I've done this question. Of course, I did this question. Of course, I was on a Leeds question like a fly on shit.
I bet. I did hear you talking about Dave Bautista. Yeah, I do like Dave Bautista. As you know, I guess I don't remember him much as a wrestler, but I do know the movies.
He was not bad.
Yeah, Potter turned down Leon maybe because he's waiting for the England gaffer. Hey, you know what? If Potter is there, and why not make a move now? Not going anywhere. It seems like a easy decision.
Can I reveal my pointless statistic of the week, please?
Oh, jeez. All right, everyone. Here we go. Pointless statistic of the week.
All right. Excuse me. Did you know that 92.4% of currently employed managers in the top 4 divisions of English football have, within the past 12 months, earned themselves the suffix or branding of ball, as in Sarri ball, Bielsa ball, like Wenger ball.
Oh, I think I've heard Ange Ball.
Ange Ball, yeah,
is the thing, and it's like, wait, he's only done this for 4 games. How does that work?
It's actually quite. The phenomenon has obviously rooted itself into the game now, but it doesn't mean what it. People don't use it for the reason you're supposed to use it anymore.
Yeah.
Like Conte ball got it, and that was because his version of football was different to Nuno, who had it before. But then Ange is getting it because his version of football is different to Conte. And it's like, so if they're both getting the ball suffix, then that's wrong. The point is, it's meant to cover a distinctive style of football.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that, everyone knows it was obviously based off of the Billy Bean using the book of Moneyball for the Oakland Athletics in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
But it actually, the first time it was generally used in our version of football was for Arsene Wenger.
Hmm.
There was an article that called it Wenger Ball. Interesting. I found it was interesting.
Hmm.
Not always. Not always, Ray. I mean, ultimately, everyone's just trying to score and not let goals in. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to get people that are close to the Pep, and you're going to get people that are close to the Sean Dyche, ultimately.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, the reason it's 92% is because Leeds fans coined Bielsa Ball. Because, again, it was genuinely different to anything we'd seen at Leeds. And, key to that, it was in the second tier. So it was very different to anything seen in the second tier as well. So then, because that happened, other teams in the second tier and the third tier, even in the fourth tier, are basically like, oh, it'll be Warnock Ball or whatever. Yeah, but Wenger Ball was first. Oh, right.
Interesting.
That's factually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's one of those things where you say Arteta ball, but in reality, you really are saying it's the style of football Arteta wants to play. It's just a long-winded way to say it. So you just say Arteta ball, because everybody wants to know what is the style of the manager, and then when they see it, they go, "Oh, that's the style," and it's called.
But the
said
thing I'll
manager
say,
ball.
I'm not knocking your team. I'm not
Yeah.
knocking your team when I say this. But if you said to me Arteta Ball, I wouldn't know what that meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not knocking you. I genuinely mean this. But the fact is, like, ultimately, you're generally an attacking team that are quite good.
Yep.
But to me, that's
Yep.
not distinctive. That's just being good at football.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it has nothing to do with you creating anything. It's your style of football. And for me, the best style of football is taking advantage of the football players you have. And then if you get better football players, then your style will improve. You know what I mean? Like if you play your same style, like I think I've heard this multiple times over the last couple of days. When Pep got to City, he just played his own style, and I believe they were talking to him about certain things, and he said, we're just going to keep playing my style of football. They just have to get better at playing my style of football. That's all, and that makes sense because eventually you don't have to then go out and find. You don't have to switch things up because anybody comes in, they just have to fit in. That's why a lot of times it doesn't work day one, right? Grealish, it didn't work day one, but Haaland, it did. Other players, it takes a bit of time, and other players, it doesn't. So for me,
71% of the managerless ball teams
mhm.
are in League Two. Just
Can we
want to
say
throw
it
that out
again?
there.
Plays what?
71% of the teams that don't get referenced as the ball suffix to the manager
Mhm,
are in League Two, unsurprisingly.
mhm.
So those teams are basically Rotherham United, Barnsley, Accrington Stanley, Forest Green Rovers, MK Dons, Salford City, and Sutton United. Although I believe the article also implied it's also Manchester City and Liverpool because they do not. Klopp and Pep do not tend to have that suffix because obviously Pep's got tiki taka, which he hates. Absolutely despises that word or phrase. And Klopp is like, I do heavy metal football. So that's why you not see people say Klopp ball.
Yeah, I think yeah, it almost sounds like if you're not at the top of at the top of in your profession, then it's called whatever ball. You know what I mean? But if you
Mm-hmm.
are at the top, it's just Pep. It's Pep's team doing what they do. Right now, we'll be playing T.
In 1996, Southampton would have been playing ball because of their manager Alan Ball.
Mm, mm.
Actually, they got relegated, so they would have been playing shitball.
Cannon and ball.
Or fuck all ball
Yeah.
because they never had any of it. But sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in there into the mix.
No, that sounds
Right.
cool. That sounds cool.
That was my pointless statistic of the week.
That was a good one. It got people talking. And somebody did bring up something that was interesting is we looked at the Arsenal bench this weekend, right? And it had starters on it, right? Ramsdale, essentially players that can start for Arsenal right now. Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Jorginho, Trossard, Havertz, Jesus, right? 6 players on the bench that are like legitimate starters. If no questions asked, if they come in, they can start for us. Kiwior, Smith Rowe, Nelson. Those are the 3 players really. Think about it. Those 3 players, they might get a start. But in reality, if you think about it, we're missing who? We're missing Timber, Partey, and are we missing one more? I think that's it. Timber and Partey are 2 players that would at least be on our bench. All right. No, are we missing somebody else?
I can't think of it, but
I thought we're missing one more person. But in reality, so if you think about it, like if we had a full strength team, Nelson and Smith Rowe and Kiwior, it'd be questionable.
El Nene.
I don't think he's pushing anybody to the bench right now. So yeah.
But I think you talk about Onini, Tom. I think the best case scenario for him is to play his League Cup games. He's always been a favorite amongst the fans, amongst the supporters. I do hope he gets a game in this year. And I honestly hope that he gets a coaching gig at Arsenal at U17-18 range. He got, I think, the talent to do so. I think he's learned from the best throughout the years and his time at Arsenal. So I hope he does get some game time this year.
You said that was El Nene you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hope that's why they're keeping him, because he wants to work on that. I mean, like that bench, as Bakes Gunner says, basically star-studded. So you wonder why we struggle sometimes, because like there's nobody who can't start for us that isn't, can get us over the hump and should be able to get us over the hump against a team sitting 19th in the league. So we've seriously leveled up. Now it's time for the manager to deliver. Granted, we lost Timber, but he's been given everything to bring home a big trophy for sure. For sure. I mean, we talked about this, right? Arsenal having at least a 15, 16-man squad that they can rotate throughout every match, like City does, like Pep does. It's not going to, I think, it's not going to get any better until January if we make a change. But all those players are worthy, right? They all can get us to where we want to be. So even if we have to rotate, we still should be strong. So yeah, for sure. Can they do better? Yes, but the question then becomes where, right? Where do you get better from what you already have right now? Right now, as we said, we've got what? Like, is Kiwior going to be gone? Nelson and Emil Smith Rowe. Those are the 3 players right now that are essentially fighting for a part in this team. Jorginho will. Yeah, I think Jorginho will get minutes. I think he's at a part in his career where he doesn't have to. He'll get the minutes because he's good enough, but I don't think he's not commanding. Putting that on the team to give him his minutes. I think he knows he'll probably play. Like even if he doesn't play the next 2 matches, he'll probably play the 2 matches after that. So this is what we talk about, having a deep squad. This is when you use it. I mean, you've got, the next time we should see like our full 11 after the weekend should be when we play Lens. I think we play Lens. Where do we play them? We play them away, I think. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think it's pronounced Lons, as if it's
Lons.
Lons.
Oh, Lons. Sorry, people.
I could be wrong, but I think that is how
You're
it's
probably
pronounced.
right. I just
No, because that's what I used to call when I was like 14. And then I heard the commentator say it, and I was like, oh.
I probably have heard him say lawns, and I still kept saying it wrong. So
ironically, it was when you played them in the Champions League in 1999.
Okay, so I don't remember that because, of course, I wasn't following Arsenal back then. So.
Yeah, the first year Arsenal were in the Champions League, to my knowledge, I could be wrong here, you played your matches at Wembley.
There you go.
And you did not do well, so you went back to Highbury.
So as it kind of says, last season the excuse was everyone around us was terrible. So now with Chelsea, United, and Newcastle looking bad, is that an excuse again? We're one win away from a better point start for sure. Yeah, we win this match, right? We'll be on 16 points, whereas last season we're on 15. So as bad as I think is not, we're not playing up to par right now. And we still are, points wise, right where we want to be.
I don't agree that Newcastle look bad.
Oh, they lost 3 matches, and they only lost 5 last season. I think
that. Yeah, but they lost 3 matches against teams that you would have thought they'd lose to.
Yeah, but they didn't lose 5 matches last season, all to those said teams, I believe. So I hear what you're saying. Like they should have lost. They could have lost those matches, and it wouldn't be a surprise. But they played those same matches last season. They only lost 5, and I know, they did lose to Arsenal one of those games, and they haven't played Arsenal yet, right?
Well, maybe they'll revenge that, but
no. But I'm just saying, you're right. I mean, they've lost more games in the first 5 games than they did all of, last season at that point.
I just think that when they get a more favourable run of fixtures, they'll start building up a bit of steam. Don't get me wrong, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want that regime to do well, but they will. And if they don't, then they'll just go out and buy more people until they do well. So,
yeah. I hear what you're saying, but the one time to get those surprise wins would be the early part of the season. So if you're not prepared to do that, then yeah, you're probably just going to lose anyways. But those are the games early in the season that you should, if you're that better of a team, you probably should win those, especially at the end, at the beginning of the season. So for me, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think it kind of the team's not there yet, as you said, but Arsenal's not there yet either, and they seem to be winning matches. So
I think it's fairer to say they're not doing well rather than they are bad, because they quickly have the potential to turn that around.
Did we say they were bad? Or did I say they were bad?
Raya said it, and BX said they're looking bad. What I will say, right?
And the reason why I think didn't they lose a match they should have won? Yeah, Liverpool match. That's a match that they should have won because in the 28th minute, yes. In the 28th minute,
because they were winning, and then Liverpool went to 10 men.
So that would be bad. No. So
that's a bad result, which happens.
Exactly. And so when you have an opportunity to win against a big 6 team, right? At home, after 30 minutes, they're down a man. At home, and you're up 1-0, and you lose
but Liverpool.
it. No. It doesn't matter who it. It doesn't matter who it doesn't.
No, Bielsa told him.
You're trying to give them excuses now. No. They're at home.
Tell me the facts.
They're upper man for almost 50 minutes. And you're telling me it's okay for them to lose because it's Liverpool. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
I've never once said it's okay. What I actually said is that Marcelo Bielsa got Núñez on a Zoom call and instructed him on what he was doing wrong and what he should be doing.
You're just making some nonsense.
And then days later, that's not making it up.
That's all nonsense. That's all nonsense.
Take a trip to Google. Núñez himself said this happened, and then days later he scores 2 goals against Newcastle to win the game.
It's just nonsense.
Bielsa's God. He's
It's
God.
nonsense. It's nonsense.
He controls the Premier League like a puppet.
Yeah. Well, as I said, Newcastle, that was bad. I don't care about, oh, it's just that time of year and they were playing a tough schedule. No. If Leeds was home, was up 1-0 on Millwall, Millwall goes down a man, and they lost it in the last 12 minutes of the match. They lost it. No, they didn't draw. They lost it
Harry,
in
there's
the
no
last 12
if.
minutes.
That's probably happened.
No.
I'm almost certain that's something that's happened in
But
the last 20 years.
would you think your team? Would you think? Oh, it's just because they're just playing some tough matches. Is that what you would
That
say?
happened
You
against
wouldn't.
Wigan in 2019. We needed to win to get promoted. We'd been practically promoted. We went 1-0 up and had a player sent off, and we lost 2-1 with their only 2 shots on the game.
And
That's
how
the
did you
thing that
feel?
actually happened.
And how did you feel? Do you want to lay down on the couch
I was
before you answer that
shocked.
question?
I was shocked, right?
Yeah,
I used to be Mexican, and it shocked me white.
It's Stan, as a Ray says here, I'm winning this one. I won this one. All right.
He's not. He's not winning it.
I want it.
There's not even a real debate. There's not what we even debating. I'm just pointing out that they're not.
No,
bad.
you're not pointing out. We're talking back and forth. It's called a debate. And you just don't like the fact that you didn't win this one. It's all right. You win a lot of the other ones.
Losing. I'm just
It's
educating you all. I'm just educating you all on something that happened around that match.
No, we're chatting.
That's not surprising.
You got Lonzo sitting there. Oh, look, he looks like he's curled up there because you're scaring him.
We should be scared.
Look, see, lost a cup final to Liverpool
obviously.
like that. See, not good.
What in 2001 Michael Owen game? Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or.
That's called not good. But you just said it. Newcastle, it's not. You're saying, they're bad. No, that's bad. That's very bad.
I never said that's not bad. I'm just saying they're not bad.
No, they're not good right now. So
I'll tell you this.
They're more.
No.
They're not. They're...
Hear me out, right? All I'm going to say is you will see what they're actually made of when they start playing these 6 Champions League matches, because they're suddenly going to go from playing once a week to playing Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday. And that's when you'll find out if they've got the stones for it.
So do we have to? So we still have to ask the question of City if they have the stones for it because they haven't been playing 2 games a week, or can you just tell by watching the way they played the last 4 matches?
No, I can tell they have the stones for it because they've won it.
Yeah. No,
they win everything.
You keep everything in a box. Last season didn't happen. All right, it's a new season. They don't have to win it. They might be predicted to win it, but it's not like written in stone that they're going to win it. Sorry, Lonzo. I know you wanted to say something there.
Yeah, whenever Newcastle started bringing new players in, I think it was like 3 seasons ago, I believe. I think people were aware, but not really intimidated like they thought they would be. And we all know how good of a coach Eddie Howe is. So there was that alarming thing as well. But I think that Newcastle, their ownership are going to be like Chelsea because they see what Chelsea had done in the past. They had some success recently, but where they've been lately in the past 3 years, you could say ever since they lost to Arsenal in the cup final back in 2020. But they won the Premier League, but that's all they have really. They kind of slid down the totem pole. Newcastle, unfortunately, having to learn the hard way how it's not always easy. Even though you do have a good manager, they brought in Asik, they brought in Gamaris, they brought in some other players as well who are talented, but they're yet to figure it out. I think Eddie Howe is only as good as he can get them there, right? He gets them Champions League football, but can he do that on a regular basis? I don't think so. I think that this year is the stepping stone for them, and this year experience to say, well, we're not good enough. Then they'll go to the Europa League and maybe next year, and then try again. Where I think as Arsenal, you see now a team that took their licks early and it was a new coach, new manager, or inexperienced manager at that. And none of they're at now without using the Saudi money that Newcastle have. So you can see the comparisons between the two, and the coaching for that matter. Um, and it has been there for a while now, so there's no really excuse for Newcastle to be this bad.
Yeah, and they're. It's not like they're missing. I don't think they're missing that many. I don't think they're missing any players. So it's pretty poor. And as you said, they're not using any of their money that they might have for whatever reasons. Like when are you going to use it? You're in the Champions League now. Like what happens next year when you're not in the Champions League, for example, because you
They'll
didn't
spend.
you failed. They're spending, but it might be tough. It might be tougher.
No, because they'll have the Champions League income from the previous year, so they'll actually be able to spend based on financial fair play and all that.
Yeah, I just
Because their income will increase.
Yeah, true, very very true.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just surprised because months ago everyone was being all pretentious and like, oh, Newcastle was so amazing, they've done so well, and all this, and it was like, and I sat there. I remember this. I was sitting there like on the stoop and that, and I'm telling you, you will all hate this eventually, and you will not be happy that they're doing well. I'm just out in front of it because my team ain't doing well, and because it annoys me and people are like, oh, you're just bitter of their. Of course, I'm bitter of their success. Before Newcastle got bought, Leeds was sticking 9 goals past them in 3 games. We were killing them. Bielsa was literally slapping Newcastle around both pitches, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, but we got our investment, and then everyone said again, oh, but they've barely spent any of it. No, but they could get quality players because they know what they're joining. They're joining a team that will get even more quality players. And that's what's happening, right? What do you think Alexander Isak would have joined them if Mike Ashley was the owner? Of course he wouldn't have. He couldn't have even told you where it was on the map of England.
He probably still doesn't know where it is. Probably still doesn't know where it is. And the one thing that City has done is every time they brought somebody in, even though it seemed like they were moving really slow in the market, but every time they brought a player in, you're like, damn. That's all I would say, damn, because they all look like quality players they're bringing in. They lost a lot of quality players, but they brought in a lot of quality players. So, yeah, some younger, some a bit older. So, yeah.
What are Barcelona going to pay for Isak with? They're going to pay for it with monopoly money.
Mm. And they just spent a lot of money on the players they brought in, as if, Then they spent a lot of Rafinha. I mean, all this money they've been buying players up. They bought, 3 or 4 players that season. Yeah.
Rafinha got sent off in their first game back this season.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
You don't really rate Dooku much. Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, he's got a hat trick coming into this thing. Bargav had a question. Bargav had. If you're gonna talk, if you can talk all your other nonsense, we can talk a little bit about something I have near and dear to my heart. Bargav's asked a question here of me. You guys can answer if you want to. Thoughts on Gator upset? Wasn't that one of the best first half performances in so long? You know what? I wrote a message to my friends in WhatsApp, basically telling them that I was like, I could almost cry the way that first half went because it's been a while since Arsenal's played. Not Arsenal. Oh my gosh, like Florida Gators have played like that in a football match, in a big match against a team that one is supposed to beat them, but also seems to be on the up and coming team. So really big game for the Gators this weekend. Enjoyed it. Was chatting with my friends pretty much all night because we were like, what are we seeing here? So really good first half. Second half, the game was pretty much over, and nobody scored, but that was great.
Gary, you beat Tennessee, right?
Huh?
You beat Tennessee.
Beat Tennessee, yes.
I've never liked Tennessee, man.
Yeah.
Ever
No.
since Phil Fulmer was the coach, right?
Yep.
They had that guy. I was his name.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that, and you know, English fans will understand, is we used to call him Fat Fulmer. Not only that, but like they would put up like this is back before me. This is back before there were memes. But you never like when like, hey, Kool-Aid, and like Kool-Aid would break through the wall.
Oh my
That's what
God.
they would say, because he would wear this big orange like windbreaker thing, and it looked like Kool-Aid
Yeah.
Man, and so just call him, hey, Kool-Aid.
Well, I've never liked Tennessee since they had Heath Schuler, and I'll tell you why. Every year, right, the polls come out every year in the magazine, right? They always had Tennessee top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they lose big games. Then they would play Penn State in the Citrus Bowl, or it was the other bowl game that they had.
Yeah, as you know, they used to say you can't spell citrus without UT.
That's right, man. It was a Gator Bowl. It was either Citrus Bowl or Gator Bowl. It was always Penn State versus Tennessee. I'm like, God, man.
Yep.
And then they always beat Tennessee like by a lot because they always choked.
Yep.
You know,
No, it was
they always choked.
Yeah. The best is two things. One is since they always were ranked high whenever Gators beat them early in the season, then they beat a top team, and then Tennessee would be on the way up, and Florida would be on the way. Tennessee on the way down, Florida would be on the way up. And the best was Peyton Manning coming back for his senior year to beat the Gators.
Oh yeah.
And then it didn't happen. And Mr. Tom's over there. We listen to his nonsense. He gives us such disrespect when we talk about stuff. That's really rude.
Well, because my nonsense is entertaining.
I think
your
that's
nonsense is nonsense.
Me and Lonzo were chatting it up. And even some of the crowd was it was okay with it.
And the funny about it, like Gary,
some of the crowd was okay with it. Listen to yourselves, man. Listen to yourselves. But can I just quickly address something right before you go back to your American football talk? Right? I'm fine with it in all seriousness. But Ray, Ray of the Arsenal fan circle, Ray himself said, I believe his exact words were, let me get this right. Exact words were, I don't really rate Doku myself.
Yes.
BX, which automatically tells me he's probably half decent.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good.
He's pretty good, isn't he? Yeah, he must be. Yeah. Because of my theory that if Ray that says a player's not great, he's probably pretty good.
Yeah. And you know what? If City picks up a player, it's not because they're okay. Yeah. They can play some footy, That's not usually the way it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. They don't just pick up players and go, he can spell football. He should be all right. Nah.
Yeah.
There's usually a reason for it.
Oh, another question. Well, not question, comment. But it is a question, sort of. Because Stan has said Caicedo has looked mid.
Yeah.
That's the word the kids on the street use, apparently. Mid.
Yeah.
Since leaving Brighton. Now, my question would be, who hasn't looked mid since in the Bowley era? Like, who have they bought that remotely lived up to the extortionate fees that they pay?
That's crazy, right? You can't name one because there isn't one. Like everybody, and it's not even some of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's no one. It's crazy. Yeah, it was a big weekend. You had Tennessee, Florida, followed by Neon Dion and his Colorado Buffaloes versus Colorado State. And I think they were losing, came back and won it in overtime. Now everybody's saying the big season comes up, so because they play. Who are they playing? I think they're playing USC and another big team. So we'll see how they do there.
There's two colleges
All right.
Colorado.
It's more than 2 colleges that play football in Colorado.
Air Force is one of
Yeah.
them too.
You have Colorado State. You have Colorado. You
Air
have
Force.
Colorado had a good week then.
you've got Air Force. I don't know. There's I think that's the 3.
Colorado did really well this week then.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Did.
Uh,
They had The
Yeah.
Rock last week.
yeah. Who knows who they're gonna have
He was in-
coming up?
He was in town.
Yeah. That Murdrick deal seems suspect, right? Suspect. Casado or Rice now? I think if Casado came to Arsenal, we wouldn't be saying that. But Rice, of course, is the now pick, I believe, and also he brings leadership, which Casado doesn't. So Arteta's looking for that. So I would have taken either one of them. I wanted both. So there you go. Yeah, it's probably no fun in that blue team. No fun.
I wonder if everyone at Chelsea changes in the changing room now, because allegedly before they started getting rid of players, there were people having to change in the hallway.
True.
Before games.
Yeah,
I've not made that up. That was a thing.
It doesn't actually make any sense. Like, right? Well, first of all, how are they changing in the hallway before a match? They're not playing. Like that would mean what? That means you have players. You don't even have enough for players that would play. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, right? If only some of the English folks realize how insane college football is crazy. It's crazy. You know what?
I've seen enough of it. It's in countless films.
No, okay, that's where the nonsense that you bring up now.
Hey Gary,
We're not having your nonsense when you bring up college
Why is that
football
nonsense?
and movies. We're talking about the sport, not like whatever part of it. How you've seen
Do the movies
it.
do movies and TV
I don't
shows not
they're not
capture the
they're
energy
not-
of it?
They're not the same. That's not the same. It's not the same.
So
Gary,
all these films and that, which imply like the entire town hinges on how well the college team is or the high school team is, they're inaccurate.
That's not the same. So like
No,
I said, it's not the
that's
same.
not the question I asked. That's not the question I asked. Are they inaccurate?
I'm not answering your nonsensical question because we're saying that college football is big time. And you're telling me about some movies you watched.
No, but these movies and TV shows imply it's big
They
time.
don't give you the same feeling. I'm sorry. Sorry, they don't. You have to experience it. Like when I went and experienced Leeds football, now I understand a little bit about what you talk about because I've seen it. But I can't see that just by watching it on a TV show. I can't feel that by just watching it on a TV show. I couldn't hear that the way you heard it by watching it on a TV show. Sorry, can't do it. It's not the same. And you know it. You can't say, oh, you have to experience Ellen Road by just watching it on a TV show. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Not now. We move on. No more nonsense from you on that one.
Oh, you've got Ray on the payroll tonight because he's inventing fictional debate contests. Even though I've won this one specifically because I said to Gary, "Is it not showing? Is it not capturing that?" And then you went, "Oh, it's college football's madness." So I'm like, "The TV shows imply it's madness." So the answer is yes.
No, I gave you a reason why it isn't, and you didn't doubt me because you knew it was true. That if you want to experience Ellen Road, you actually have to be there.
Gary lives in the real
never
world.
said.
What are you talking about? Are you paying Ian as well?
hey Gary.
Yes, sir.
He's on YouTube more than me. The fuck are you talking about?
You got like 3 shows. What are you talking about? I only got 1.
And you put about 40 shows. You got about 40 shows within one channel, and then you like, all right, I'll host your show too. All right, you lying fuckers.
Lonzo wanted to speak. Lonzo, what's up?
Sorry, yeah.
So this is a good movie, right? About the college football atmosphere or the vibe, right? Gary, you've seen right the movie called The Program, right? The Program.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's a great movie, man.
Is the program the one that was made? It was a depiction of one of the schools, and was it the one where the kids were laying in the street, as the cars were driving by as part of like a they made the movie off of it as well. Not the
Oh,
movie,
what?
the
So they
TV
make
show.
they make movies to capture the energy of of real life things. Is that what you're saying?
No, we're talking your nonsense. So, but it's not.
I'm just reacting to what you just said. That proved me right.
No, you're not right. You're never right.
There's one Omar Epps, he's running back. And
No, I do remember it, but I thought, yeah.
There's Holly Berry's in it too.
Ah,
She's a math tutor that helps him out.
yeah. Tom misses a sitter. He does that. You set him up, and the man just puts it in row Z. He puts it in row Z from like 2 feet out.
I'm being generous. I'm being generous to you by saying that I'm 3-1 up.
My dog is whining at me. As Ian says, I live in the real world, Mr. Tom, not in this TV land thing that you live in.
Disney Plus was good value before the price hike. That's all I'm going to say.
If Chelsea fire Poch, no other top manager will consider the job unless it's an insane payday, because there's no power or guarantees with that Chelsea job. It's cursed. That's why they need to just like let the man, as they say, let the painter paint. You know. Remember what movie that's from, Mr. Tom? Since you know all about your movies.
Sorry, I wasn't.
No, yeah, you do that all the time. You listen to everything, and then all of a sudden you decide, okay, I'm gonna turn this one off. I know you're nonsense.
That's exactly what happened. That's why.
You're like, Harry's talking. I'm about to tune this guy out right now. What did you say? Nothing. Don't worry about it. We move on.
Did you say pay to play?
No, let the painter paint. And I said, what movie is that from? And I think you should know it. I believe you should know it.
It doesn't sound familiar, but it does sound familiar. What movie is it from, Gary?
Did you watch Wrath of Man?
Who's the Wrath of Man?
You never watched?
They made a movie about Rafa Benitez.
Wrath of Man.
No, I've never seen it.
Never saw it?
Never seen it.
That is interesting. That is interesting. What?
Wait, it's called The Wrath of Man?
Yeah, Jason Statham stars in it.
Oh, no, that will explain why I've not seen it then. Because it's probably just gone past me as like one of Jason Statham's straight to DVD specials.
No, it was a good movie. I would say you should watch it. You should watch it. Andy Garcia's in it. It's a good one.
Andy Garcia's in it?
That's what I just said.
No, that's why I'm surprised you said it. I'd watch most things that Andy Garcia's in.
No, guess who says, let the painter paint?
Is it Andy Garcia?
Yes.
I totally watched that.
You gotta watch it.
I'd possibly even pay to watch it, but it sounds like I won't have to.
No, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. You should check it out if you have not. The Life and Time. So we're actually at the 90-minute mark. Lonzo, I think it's time for us to get out of here. So say bye. Oh wait. Guess what? Oh man, it's not that time yet. You're gonna have to wait. You know why you're gonna have to wait? All right, people.
Theme tune, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
And Ray's getting annoyed because the guy behind him is rustling his crisps, and he can't hear what's going on the show in front of him. Ray
says a lot of things tonight.
Oh, look! Before you go, Spencer just joined us, even though we're about to head out of here. But you haven't missed it yet. It's here. It's that time for the reveal.
So I went to Iqbal. I went, what you got for me? I want something never before seen. on the trip on Monday nights.
Yeah.
12:30 in the UK. And he went, Mr. Tom, I've got you some Lay's West Indies hot and sweet chili.
I think I want some of those. My dad's from Barbados, so definitely you should save me a bag.
And apparently it has 25% more chips.
There you go.
It's
My
not
dog is
true, by the
whining.
way. It's not true, by the way, because that's roughly where the actual chips are. So it's not true. Lying fuckers.
My dog's whining, so I can hear you, but I'll be right back.
This is what I suspected. I thought it might be similar to the old Thai sweet chili. It is similar to the old Thai sweet chili. Oh, that's quite delicious. More heat than in the Thai sweet chili, though, by about 18%.
It should. It's West Indies. Come on.
West
And
Indies,
also, Ryan, look at Ryan joined us. He's probably just woken up to go to work or something. I don't know. What is he? I don't know what he does. What time is it?
Woken up.
Oh, it's only 2 o'clock. He's probably still up.
People waking up going,
Pumpkin bread. I like pumpkin bread.
I could go back to sleep. But I want to see what Tom is eating live on YouTube, live on the trip.
West Indies hot and sweet chili crisps, and he can't stop eating them, so you know it's good. Damn it, Chloe! I don't know what that's from. You gonna give us a rating?
Yeah, I will.
Let's do it.
0.86 out of 0.98.
Very nice. Yeah, Ryan had to take a late night BP. All right, so here we go. We are gonna get out of here. Lonzo, time to say bye to the people.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time, hopefully. I'm off on Sunday, so I might be on Ray's podcast to chat about the Derby. So yeah, Tom, I may be on your show Wednesday. So have a good night, everyone, and have a good week. And come on, Arsenal and Leeds.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Tom, say bye-bye.
Alonso hiding his eyes behind the line makes him look like Geordie LaForge from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. Thank you to everyone for hanging around with us and stuff and their comments. Also, thank you to Gary for having me on. Pleasure, as always. Thank you to Alonso for turning up and engaging in discussion. Always good to see you. Thank you to. I'll also in just future, and I don't care if my FBI agent finds that. Thank you to the assassin that takes that Ray for me in future. Sorry, what? Anyway, nothing. No, seriously. Thank you everyone for supporting the show. Hope you have a good week. Hope all your teams lose. No, I'm joking. That's Lolo's thing, isn't it? No, seriously. Good luck against PSV. I do hope you beat Tottenham. Tom won this week. Tom fucking won this week for once.
Tom got swept, as they say.
I did not.
4-0. Gary didn't even give him a chance.
No.
You know that they say you have like a home and away. We had a home and away and a home and away, and he lost all 4 of them.
No. Fake news. As a certain president would say, fake news. You're not true. Not true.
Yes.
Might be true
Mr.
from a
Tom,
certain point
Mr.
of view.
Tom didn't
not
even
true.
score, and when he did score, it got taken away by VAR. It was just a bad run. That
sounds like it could be true because you and Ray got this weird little way, like you're paying each other to just.
No. But you know what? You did score. You had 2 own goals, so you put. So
Don't laugh, Alonso. Don't laugh at his crap.
But anyways,
it's funny.
Gary for Mr. Tom nil. We'll do this again next Monday. As we said, we got some football matches before then. We play midweek. You guys play midweek, Mr. Tom?
We do actually play on Wednesday.
There you go. So Wednesday's a busy day for everybody. Away at Hull, we're playing home to PSV. And then on the weekend, we play North London Derby. You got who? On the weekend? Anybody? Do you know who you're playing?
I should know this because I was talking about it on my show yesterday.
Wow.
Well, Mr. Tom figures out who his team is.
I don't look beyond the next opponent, all right? Because like you shouldn't have done when you were talking about PSV and Tottenham and all that.
Dude, you can tell me every game they play the last 20 years, but I ask you what the next 2 are. You're like, I don't look that far ahead. I was like,
yeah, it's home to Watford. No, in all seriousness, it's home to Watford.
There you go, Ian. Thanks for helping him out. But yeah, we'll be back on Monday. We'll see. And I think Tony may have been able to join us today, but I think things are getting a little bit better with Tony, and hopefully we'll see him on next up and coming shows. So yeah, we'll do it then. But everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll do this again. I'll say it, but then I'll let you listen to it as well. Life is a journey. It is. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. We'll do this thing again another time.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride.